All right.
Okay, so now we're recording. Mr. Rodrigo Parada. I wanted to, I was in Quebec recently and we were together at a restaurant, and I was so looking forward to having this conversation with you at the restaurant itself, because I was in Quebec and I know that Quebec is an interesting market for real estate investing. It's so unique, uh, as compared to other provinces in Canada. Now, about you, I've known you for a while, and I've known about you from the group Wealth Genius, and when you're at a restaurant, you get a little bit of conversation here and there, but you don't really get to know someone properly. But then you and I attended a mastermind recently in Sandbanks, and I have to tell you, I was really impressed every time that you actually participated and gave your ideas. I knew so much more about you, and I guess the most important thing is that I think you have a lot of wisdom to share. So I appreciate that about you, and you and I actually connected also. I almost feel like you're like a brother, and so I really appreciate getting to know you from that perspective. But I also know, and this is really about today, it's about the Quebec market, and I know that you, most of your investments, if not all, are in Quebec. And I wanted you just to share with everyone about your experience. Anything that you want to share about the Quebec market and your experience would be greatly appreciated. So please go ahead, introduce yourself, and teach me and teach everyone who's interested in learning more about the Quebec real estate investing market.
Well, first things first, Otto, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I mean, it means a lot coming from you. Everything that you said is true. We've connected on a personal level at the mastermind. We've over time learned to know more about each other and see each other's progress. And I think that through Wealth Genius, we've been able to accomplish big things, and we will accomplish bigger things moving forward. So just a bit about myself. I'm from Latino descent. My mom is Salvadorian. My dad is Chileno. I was born and raised in Montreal here in Quebec, and I've been mainly investing in Quebec since 2018 with my brothers, my dad, and my wife. Up until I joined Well Genius at the beginning of 2022, I was buying smaller multifamilies, so 4 doors and less, in different markets than Montreal itself. So all around the province. So mainly along Highway 15, all the way to Saint Jerome, and a bit on Highway 50. And the reason why I've been doing that is I was focusing on value add plays and something that I considered a bit more affordable at that time with my knowledge, which were secondary and tertiary markets. And we've been able or lucky enough to be put in positions where we had to do multiple things with our acquisitions. So stabilize them, value add, do the burst strategy, conversions. So we've been successful with that. And what I learned through the process is that it's the same thing as with any provinces or any cities, municipality that you're going to be dealing with. You're dealing with people. So whether it's a language thing or whatever, like it's the same principle. Be likable, be knowledgeable, and make sure that you don't waste anybody's time, right? So you focus on what you need to do, you focus on what you need to achieve, and you work with the cities and to encompass their vision so that whenever you ask for something to add a unit or do something that's necessarily a bit in the gray zone, well, you're working with them and not against them. So that would be my first advice about investing in Quebec, is that it's basically like anywhere else. You just need to be, go ahead, move forward, and just get it done. So yeah, so that got us to a certain point because we were buying assets under a personal name. And at the beginning of the year, we incorporated ourselves. So I'm not a tax specialist or a lawyer or whatever. So if ever you're looking to doing that, just consult a specialist. But that's at the stage where we were at in our career of real estate. At the same time, I was fortunate enough to start a new partnership, so my first OPM money for a cottage here in the Laurentians. So we're turning that into a short-term rental. And
Nice.
one of the particular thing that we have here in Quebec is that you need a permit to operate those things legally to be able to declare the revenue. So you have to apply to this organism called the CITQ so that you're able to get a license and get the proper permits and paperwork with the city. So we're doing that right now, and it's going great. It's another opportunity, another income stream in the real estate world, and one that I'm really liking a lot. So we're able to do
OPM,
that
by the
also.
way, being other people's money. Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt, but
yes, yes,
yes, yes,
yes.
OPM.
So yeah, it's a wonderful experience because you get to not only manage your expectations but your partner's expectations, and it's an amazing growing opportunity. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't confident in my ability to achieve these things, mainly by educating myself, listening to a whole lot of podcasts, just listening to mentors in this field, so that I'm able to go against this challenge and make sure that I tackle it. So moving forward, ever since I've joined this wonderful group that is Well Genius, I was able to expand my sphere of influence in other markets. So mainly in Shawinigan, Trois-Rivières, so tertiary markets or secondary, depending on how you look at them, because the price per door was ridiculously cheap. We're looking at between 40 to 60K for per door in Shawinigan.
Is
And
this prior to COVID or during COVID or existing times?
right now,
Wow, that's really cool.
yeah.
Uh,
So we currently have a 15 unit under contract in Shawinigan, divided in 4 buildings, and it's currently under contract at 53K per door. And we're not done yet. It's not a firm offer, so we'll be able to negotiate potentially, and get a better price. But the money is there, the cash flow is there. So there are opportunities in these markets here in Quebec. So it's not
Amazing.
impossible. And I'm doing this with another member, somebody that you know also, Bava. So, like
Yes.
the language thing and, like whatever they're saying, it doesn't really matter. Just find somebody local that can help you. And most of the time, a lot of these professionals speak English already, so they can help you out. So that's another thing
Yeah.
that I'd like to dispel.
Bava, in fact, we had a small conversation at the same restaurant where you and I were supposed to have the conversation. So that's somewhere there on the Facebook page as well. I don't know if you've seen it,
Yes.
Rodrigo, but yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's the Bava that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Pretty cool
So
guy.
So again, coming back to what I've been doing recently, like obviously, I think we're all seeing a certain slowdown in the market. We're as we like to refer it, it's hunting season for us for buyers, but it's also a matter of gaining back the control and gaining back the pace of transactions. And it's at these moments that, at the same time that we're self-aware of what's going on, we're aware of what's going on in the market, we also need to start working on our deal flow. So that's one thing I want to talk about right now, because ever since I've changed my mindset into not just trying to be an investor, but I want to be the investor. I've been focusing a lot on my deal flow. So reaching out to professionals, whether it's realtors, notaries or lawyers, anybody that's in the field, and just making it known that, I'm buying, I'm here, I'm backed by a group of individuals that we've completed $60 million of worth of transactions in 2021, and we're aligned to go over 250 million this year. And that has weight when you talk to people, because that means that you're serious. So by doing so, I've been able to get off market deals. I've been able to get prospecting done by other people than myself, which is brand new and it's paying dividends. So it is possible. So everything, all that I've mentioned is possible in Quebec. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, I'm excited about this. I gotta talk to you offline about some deals over there for sure.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting what you said about deal flow. It's this is so important for people like ourselves to continue having deals coming in constantly, regardless of whether we have something under contract or not. Like I'm guilty myself of having a huge deal under contract, and then I was so focused on it, on the due diligence and making sure that the numbers worked and all that stuff, that I forgot for a while that it's important to continue looking at other deals and have that deal flow, because you never know what's going to happen with deals. Even if you have them under contract, you may find out that something is not going to work, the numbers are not going to work, and we as investors we have to be willing to let it go. And if we don't have something else to go back to, then we run into problems, we're back at the beginning. We have to start all over again. So it's important to maintain that deal flow. And like you said, you have it, which is amazing. I've loved everything that you've said so far about the Quebec market. I'm sure that just like you got me excited, anybody that is listening to this is probably excited about contacting you, because the more I learn about the Quebec market, the more I feel it's very attractive.
Yes, the
So
price. Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, please.
No, what I was gonna say is, in terms of like finding these deals, and this is something that I felt that I knew, but I couldn't put into words, and it's a concept that I grasped recently during one of Wealth Genius boot camps, the multifamily boot camp in Montreal. I was talking to coaches and our mentor Alfonso, and we heard about OPM, so other people's money, other people's time, other people's credit, but there's also OPD, which is other people's deal. And if you have a healthy deal flow, if you have opportunities being presented to you, you can leverage those opportunities to bring in the expertise, bring in the knowledge into your deals, because that's what we've been hearing since everybody started real estate investing, is that if you have a deal, you'll find the money. Well, if you have a deal, you'll find the people that can either bring you the money, bring you the expertise to achieve this deal. And this is the beautiful thing about this market here, is that we have those opportunities. So my message to fellow investors, whether you experience or not, don't let this mental barrier that you have stop you from exploring other opportunities, reaching out to people and building those relationships. Because if you do have something that makes sense on paper, and you can present it to other people, then you'll be able to take it down, because you'll be able to assemble the team or leverage somebody that has a team to bring this deal down. So that's one thing I wanted to also share that I've been using.
That's amazing, Rodrigo. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm sure that there's so much more to share in future conversations. I'd love to do this all over again. And I have a feeling that we're going to be presenting a deal together in the near future.
Let's go, Otto. Let's go.
Yes, I like the way that you think, the way that you are. I'm looking forward to partnering up with you in some way, and let's keep going at this. Thank you so much, Rodrigo, for the time you took today, and for sharing some of this information. Anything else that you would like to share before we finish
Well, no,
this?
it's super simple. If ever you need help, if ever I can bring value to anyone, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. I'm in a position of servitude. If everybody can grow, if everybody can get better at this, I'm all up for it. So don't be shy. Just reach out.
Beautiful. Thanks, Rodrigo. And so I'm going to say goodbye for now. In fact, what I'll do is just stop the recording button,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to all of you soon.